So after doing my review, my criterion review for The Irishman, directed by Martin Scorsese, I started to think of other films of his, and it made me want to rewatch a lot of his actually. And one that I thought of that sometimes I'll I'll have films in mind and then I'll have directors in mind, but for some reason I sometimes forget what directors go for which films. Like I'll know like a great film, like for this one, for example, that I'm reviewing today, Raging Bull. It'll slip my mind that it's like, oh wow, it's Scorsese that directed that too. And for some reason, like the director of the film just slips my mind when it comes to the film itself. Like, yeah, I know Raging Bull, of course, Robert De Niro and Joe Pesci, but then I'm like, oh fuck, it's Scorsese that directed that too. Wolf of Wall Street is another one. You know, Wolf of Wall Street with DiCaprio, and then you think, oh shit, that's another Scorsese film. So this one came to mind, and this is one of my favorite Scorsese films. You know, Casino and Goodfellas are the two classics, but this one for a Scorsese film is right up there. It's not a gangster film. It's about boxing basically. It's a true story of this boxer named Jake LaMotta. It is Jake, right? Yep, Jake LaMotta, and played by Robert De Niro, and his brother, played by Joe Pesci. His brother's name is Joey, and this film is basically a character study on this boxer that he rose to fame in the 40s and then early 50s. Yeah, from the 40s to the 50s. It tells a story. This guy had an ego. He obviously took out a lot of his rage and personal issues in the ring, but not only he couldn't put them at bay either, so it did end up destroying his career and kind of overtaking his life, and this film portrays that really well. As you know, not only Scorsese, but Scorsese being a master at this, he's really great with character studies, but theming them in very entertaining and dark and dramatic and poetic ways. I'm trying to find the right word that I'm trying to describe a Scorsese film. Um, he goes, he throws intensity to character studies like you rarely see directors do. Usually they're more focused on linear plots and kind of one note, one dimensional character studies, like this is this guy and this is how, you know, how he lived his life. Scorsese throws so much more intensity to his films, and it's apparent in this one. It captures me, and it captures you know, it captures the viewer intensely, and it doesn't let go, kind of thing. Best way I can describe it. Sometimes I'm not good with words, but my emotions say a lot more. It starts off with this opening where Jake LaMotta's in the ring, and it's slow-mo. He's kind of just preparing for his fight, and you got this like orchestral music. It's absolutely beautiful. Typical Scorsese stuff. He's it right at the beginning of the film. It shows his relationship with his current wife, and he all they do is argue. I wrote down your typical Scorsese relationship that you see in every Scorsese films. The dysfunctional relationship that a man always has with his wife and usually ends up leaving throughout the film, which he does in this one. His brother Joey shows up. Joe Pesci is amazing in this film as well. Automatically, one of the first things he wants to do is ask his brother is to hit him in the face, and Joey's hesitant to hit Jake, his brother, in the face, obviously, but he like kind of eggs him on and everything. He always wants to prove himself to everybody that he can like take any kind of pain, physical or mental, and he's just trying, like, he thinks he's invincible, but he also has so many personal demons going on within himself too. His jealousy issues are through the roof, and this becomes very apparent with his second marriage, or yeah, I guess marriage, because he meets this woman named Vicky. This is after his first wife, and Vicky just basically turns his life upside down, and it's not necessarily her at all. It's his raging jealousy over his paranoia. Like, he just becomes so paranoid about everything, and paranoid about his wife and what she's doing, paranoid about other boxers overtaking him, paranoid about aging, paranoid about people setting him up, because this film focuses on a lot of bets that go on between boxers and fixed fights and all that, which he's totally against. And it does focus on real life fights that Jake LaMotta ended up having throughout the 40s and 50s. And as the film goes on, he just, like, when he starts suspecting even of his own brother of cheating with his wife Vicky, and it's really reminiscent to, you know, a lot of relationships I've witnessed in real life. Okay, well, that stopped recording for some reason. But it's really reminiscent to some relationships I've noticed in real life, and how, like, crazy possessive and paranoid people can get for the strangest things. Yeah, the character study is brilliant. The directing is brilliant. It's a really, really well directed film. And it's good that Scorsese chose to make it in black and white, because the black and white, it wouldn't be the same in color, I don't think. The black and white really enhances the visuals of this film, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's definitely one to check out. This came out in 1980, and it's one of the best performances from Robert De Niro, I will say. And there's actually a lot of scenes that do remind me of Goodfellas and Casino, in the sense that Joe Pesci and his craziness, and the things he'll do to defend his brother, and the things he'll do to other people who wrong him or wrong his brother or wrong his brother's wife. And it really goes to show how much Jake is also losing it when he starts to accuse Joey, his own brother, about being with his wife and all that. Which, by the end of the whole film kind of thing, the whole, like, you stop knowing whether in unfaithfulness was going on or not, but, or what happened, what didn't happen. But all in all, you definitely see the deterioration of Jake's mind, and how insanity basically takes over in his life and his boxing career and absolutely everything he has going for him. But definitely one of the top tier Scorsese films, right next to Casino and Goodfellas, and one that I recommend. So that's Raging Bull from 1980. Can't say any more good about it. It's absolutely amazing and one to check out. So subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like to listen to my voice, or if you like my film reviews, and there will be more to come. Until then, have a good one, and cheers.